Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity baseball contest between the visiting Rockets of Needham High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. The Warriors riding high into this one off of two consecutive comeback victories. They defeated Framingham on Saturday in walk-off fashion 5-4, despite an early 4-0 deficit. And then it was a wild back-and-forth affair on Monday on the road at Natick, where Brookline went up 5-0. Natick came back, took a 6-5 lead into the 7th inning, but then Brookline rallied for 5 runs in the 7th and final inning to take the win 10-6. Brookline comes into this game with a 3-1 record, hoping to improve that 3 to a 4 against another Bay State Conference rival in the Needham Rockets. This is another team that Brookline has played close at points. They've won, they've lost. You know, this could go either way, and another team that when these two schools face off and they're both in kind of a similar enough place in terms of their program's development, which is often the case in baseball, you know, it can make for a really fun contest. So I expect this to be a good one, folks. As always, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. The baseball team will be back in action on the road tomorrow as they take on Dover Sherborne. I'll have that one covered as well. Be sure to be on the lookout for the link to that live stream. Subscribing to the channel can help. As always, I encourage fans to participate in the live chat or send me an email if you're not comfortable with the YouTube's live chat system. You know, you could send a message as simple as go Brookline or go Needham. You know, no matter who you're rooting for, we appreciate fans bringing the good vibes and showing support for their favorite team in the live chat. Or if you want to give a shout out to a specific player, maybe you're tuning in to support a family member or a friend, or maybe a player makes a particularly good play, you want to give them a shout out, you can do that too. Or maybe you want to let us know where you're tuning in from. For instance, one of our regulars just posted our first live chat message, Barbara Jo Metzger, go Brookline Warriors from Buffalo, New York. So you can see from this fine example from Barbara that, you know, sometimes people are tuning in from other states, and occasionally we even get folks tuning in from other countries with these online live streams that can be seen all over the world. It's really a wonderful thing. You know, there's no regional blackouts on YouTube, which I think is a pretty nice thing. And then on a more important side, if you notice any technical difficulties with the stream, you know, if my microphone starts acting up and the audio goes wonky, you know, it may be, I might not notice, it might come through differently in my headset. My headset might think it's still, make me think it's still going normal, but on your end, it's sounding bad. So if you notice the audio sounding off, you know, please say something either in the live chat or in an email. And same thing with the video. You know, maybe the video will go wonky and, you know, some things will start skipping. You know, and maybe it'll happen during an important play or something like that, and I might not notice it because I'll be too focused, you know, on the game itself. And if it ends up skipping during a very important play, I encourage you to speak up and say something, because while I'm live streaming this, I'm also recording it. So even if it skips in the live stream during an important play, I will still have that play recorded. And so I'll be able to post a fully recorded version with that play unimpeded by any kind of Wi-Fi shenanigans. So if you notice something, again, say something either in the live chat or by sending me an email. And then, of course, if I am getting anything wrong in terms of name pronunciation, again, I encourage you to speak up and say something in the live chat. You know, I want to give these young men the best coverage, that I possibly can, and to me, part of that does mean getting their names right. And on that note, as it looks like Needham is wrapping up their warm-ups, let's go through the rosters real quick. We'll start with the visiting Needham High Rockets. Leading off for Needham today, the center fielder, number 7, Alexander Giancola. Batting second, the shortstop, number 18, Devin Constantino. Batting third and playing third, number 13, William O'Donnell. Batting cleanup, the right fielder, number 22, Charlie Ledbury. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 5, Adam Hess. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 2, William Saratella. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 15, Evan Feldman. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 11, Oliver Gannon. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 3, Griffin Carr. And not in the batting order, but starting on the mound for Needham today, number 1, Justin Mayra. Head coach of the Needham High baseball team is C.J. Gulbranson. So that's the roster for Needham. Now let's go over the roster for Brookline. Leading off for the Warriors, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Batting second, the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. Batting third, the right fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. Batting cleanup, the first baseman, number 13, Felix Hom. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. And batting ninth, the third baseman, number 8, Ben Doktoroff. And not in the batting order, but starting on the mound for Brookline today, number 22, Charlie Engelman. Head coach of the Brookline High baseball team is Brendan O'Connor. So those are our rosters. We'll soon be getting this one underway. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan live at Warren Field. You are watching Brookline High Baseball. First pitch, and he laces it out to right. Harrison Siegel delivers. Runner taking off for second. It's a low skipping throw. Melton throws down, and they got him in time. Hits it. He wins it. Hugh Bollinger. Welcome to the Warriors. Brookline wins. All right, teams getting ready to come out on to the field for the top of the first inning. And just before we get things started, I would like to announce that during this game, we're going to be announcing winners of the BHS Baseball Raffle. So first off, Brookline High Baseball would like to thank all who participated in this raffle fundraiser. We're grateful to the generosity of our donors, families, friends, alumni, and fans of Brookline Baseball. The funds raised will support training equipment, practice gear, assistant coaches, and community building events. We're going to announce the winners in between, during the middle and end of each inning. So we'll announce the winners, in between innings and the mid-inning changeover all the way through the bottom of the sixth inning. So at the middle and end of each inning, we're going to announce some raffle winners, and we'll do that all the way through the bottom of the sixth. So again, thank you to all those who have participated in the BHS baseball raffle this year. Raised a lot of money for this program. A lot of great help for the kids. And remember, if you're feeling just randomly generous, there is a link in the description section down below of this video where you can find a link to the PayPal account for the Brookline High Booster Club, the Brookline High Baseball Booster Club, that is, if you would like to donate some money to this program. So again, be sure to check that out in the description section. And I'm just saying that now because normally I say that in the middle of the fourth inning, but we're going to have, you know, a lot of stuff to read out with the raffle winners today. Just figured I would make sure I get that one in. And then, of course, if I don't get to our local charity spotlight later, our local charity spotlight for today is the Brookline Food Pantry. You know, enough really can't be said for all the good that the Brookline Food Pantry does for this community. You know, I believe the most recent numbers are that they feed about 650 families each week doing the work that they do to try and get groceries to those in need of food assistance. So you can find a link and phone number to find out more about them and how you can help out their cause down in the description section once again. But for now, it's almost time to play ball as Brookline comes out onto the field. Warming up on the mound is number 22, Charlie Engelman. This is his first pitching appearance on stream, so we're showing his stats from last year. Last year, he was one of Brookline's top pitchers. Led the team in total appearances with 12, and in total innings pitched with 25, and in total wins with 2. Out of those 12 appearances, only 3 of them were starts, but he still had a 2-3 win and loss record. The team high 25 innings, like I said, an ERA of 3.64, a WHIP of 1.44, and 19 strikeouts. Now, of course, he was the starter for the season opener against Newton South, not this past Monday, but last Monday, on April 1st. He was the starter in that one. Pitched 2 1/3 innings, gave up 1 unearned run on 2 hits, 4 walks, and 1 hit by pitch with 3 strikeouts. Ended up leaving that game with a no decision because he didn't pitch 4 innings, which is required for a starter to get a pitching win. He will face the top of Needham's order, Giancola, Constantino, and O'Donnell. Apologies in advance for the amount of nose blowing I might be doing on this stream. You know, spring can be a beautiful time of year. It can also be a very sneezy time of year for those of us with seasonal allergies. But hey, you know, while it may be a windy day today, you know, so far no precipitation. Fingers crossed it stays that way. And temperatures in the low 60s. You know, temperatures being brought down by the wind chill, but overall a pretty nice day. Definitely much better than the last time we were here at Warren for that Framingham game, as that game was cold and windy and wet and miserable. And if it hadn't been such a dang good game, boy, it would have been a miserable time. But it was a fantastic game, and here's hoping that this game is a fantastic one as well. As we get things started, leading off for Needham, the center fielder, number 7, Alexander Giancola. First pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 1. That one outside, ball 1. Engelman working the outside part of the plate for the first couple of pitches. Hard hit up the middle, fielded by Sawada, thrown to first, and that is out number 1. So a 4-3 ground out to start. Just going to try and zoom in the camera a little more. Now batting with 1 out, the base is empty, the shortstop, number 18, Devin Constantino. First pitch does hit the zone, strike 1. The ump a little slow to show signals, so we may there may be a bit of delay in announcing balls and strikes. This one is sliced foul and out of play, strike 2. Oh, and 2, the count to Constantino. That one's going to be high and in, ball 1. Boy, a little hard to see both the pitcher and the batter with this current view. As that one hits him. That looked like a curveball that just hung on Engelman there. Did not curve back towards the zone and hits Constantino. And so now a runner on first for the Rockets. Now batting the third baseman, number 13, William O'Donnell. First pitch low and away, ball 1. Constantino taking a lead off from first. Not the most aggressive looking lead. Looking a little more aggressive now, and he takes off. And it's fouled off for strike 1. It was very interesting. Constantino was, moving kind of slowly off the bag there. Knees weren't bent too much. Didn't look like he was committed to taking off. But then, as Engelman got set, he started to make a bit of a jump and then took off, but foul ball by O'Donnell keeps him at first. Throw back to first, and it bounces away. Brookline very lucky that that one bounced off the body of Constantino, because if that one got away, it was going to be rolling right towards me, and I'm out of play, so that wouldn't have been good. That pitch high and in, ball 1. See, now that Constantino has shown that he can take off for second, you're going to see, I think, some more high pitches to give Melton a quicker jump up to potentially throw down to second. Not that one, though. They go low and away, almost for a pickoff move at first, but instead it's going to be ball 3. 3-1, the count to O'Donnell. And that's a high ball 4. So we go from 1 out and a 2-strike count to now 2 runners on off of free passes. And now with a runner on first and second and 1 out, up comes the cleanup hitter, The right fielder, number 22, Charlie Ledbury. First pitch. Misses, ball one. So we got one Charlie wearing number 22 against another Charlie wearing number 22. Here in a pretty tense situation in the first. That one misses as well, ball two. This one's a grounder back to Engelman, gets the lead runner at third, and that's all they're going to get. Bit of a high throw to third and a good jump towards second base by O'Donnell prevents the double play. A 1-5 fielder's choice gets Constantino. Big second out get for Engelman. Now batting the first baseman, number 5, Adam Hess. That hit the end of his bat. That's a foul ball for strike one. That was very close to another hit-by pitch. It would have been Engelman's second hit-by pitch this inning, and the ump coming out and talking to him, saying, "Hey," probably saying something to the effect of, you know, a little closer to the plate. Be careful. That did hit the butt of Hess's bat, so I believe that is strike one. Engelman gets the pickoff move at second. They throw it down to third, and they've got him. What a move. What a move. Let's check out the replay real quick as that pickoff move ends the inning. See just a swift turnaround. He caught O'Donnell leaning towards second, and a nice textbook pickoff move to end the inning. Now, here in the middle of the first inning, we'd like to announce the winner of an autographed Rafael Devers baseball. Now, of course, those of you Red Sox fans, you know who Rafael Devers is. For those of you not in the know, Devers made his debut with Red Sox in 2017 and since has won 2 Silver Slugger awards in 2021 and 2023 and made 2 All-Star teams in 2021 and 2022. And he signed a 10-year contract with the Red Sox through 2033. The winner of the autographed Rafael Devers baseball, a familiar name to the Brookline High baseball community, Eric Dumas. Congratulations, Eric, former Brookline High baseball player, former Brookline High assistant coach, and fun fact, a former neighbor of mine as we both grew up in South Brookline. So congratulations, Eric Dumas. So now, as we get ready for the bottom of the first, on the mound for Needham is their pitcher, number 1, Justin Mayra. He'll be facing the top of the Brookline order, Sawada, Siegel, and Brendel. Leading off for Brookline, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch from Mayra, fouled off, strike one. Sawada so far this season batting just 2 for 11, but he has 5 walks, 2 stolen bases, and 1 run scored. Hits a liner, almost a diving grab by the shortstop, but that is going to roll into center field as Sawada has a leadoff single. That would have been an incredible catch by Constantino if he had come down with that one. So no shame in missing that one is what I say. And also, no error is my personal stat-keeping call on that one. Now with a runner on first, now batting the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel, as Mera checks on Sawada. Brookline baseball fans definitely know what a speed demon Sawada is, as that first pitch to Siegel misses high for ball 1. So Needham's going to keep an eye on him on the base paths. Siegel off to a pretty solid start to the season, 3 for 9 with 5 walks, a team-leading 2 hit by pitches, 1 steal, 3 runs, and 2 RBI. As he slices that one foul for strike 1. Fun fact, Siegel also led the team in hit by pitches last year with 8 hit by pitches. So off to another fun start in that regard as a pickoff throw goes off Sawada's foot, but because he was diving back to the bag and his helmet kind of came up over his eyes, he didn't hop right up and take off for second. Kind of similar to what happened with Constantino on first base in the top of the first inning. That one low for ball 2. Another fun fact for Siegel so far this season, he's only got 2 RBI, but both really critical RBI. He got the game-tying RBI against Framingham on Saturday and the go-ahead RBI in the 7th inning on Monday. That's another hit by pitch. What is this? I tell you, at a certain point, they're going to have to search that kid's uniform for some kind of baseball attracting magnet because this is ridiculous. That is 3 hit by pitches for Siegel, and we are just in the 5th game of the season. So this is just silly. But either way, 2 runners on, now batting the right fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. First pitch hits a liner down the third base line. That is a foul ball. Brendel has had a very productive season for Brookline so far. 3 for 8 with the team's only extra base hit so far, a double he hit on Monday. 6 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 1 steal, a team-leading 5 runs scored, and tied for the team lead with 4 RBI as he takes ball 1 there. So definitely the kind of guy you want up at the plate with 2 runners on at the start of the ball game. And a timeout. Fouls that one to the backstop, strike 2. Oh dear. Looks like the Wi-Fi is going a little nutso on us. I don't know how much we missed there. As Brendel hits a grounder over to second, fielded, flipped to second for 1, not in time to get to first. Wait, did they just call interference on Siegel? Wait a second. I think the ump might have just been signaling. And meanwhile, my internet is messing up on me. I don't know why. But they are going to call that a double play. They called runner interference on Siegel, I guess because he came in standing up. He was in the way of a potential throw from second to first. So 2 down now. Sawada does advance to third. Now up is number 13, Felix Hom. As Hom fouls that one off, strike one. Dang it. The Wi-Fi is messed up. And right in the middle of the action. Hom fouls that one off, strike two. Shoot. I gotta wait until the inning ends before I can fix this. That one misses outside, ball one. Because when I go to fix this, the stream's gonna like stop temporarily. And Hom chases it low but fouls off, stays alive at 1-2. That one's gonna miss, ball two. That one hits the corner, strike three. So the inning is over. The inning is over, and I'm going to take a moment here. And try and fix this Wi-Fi. So hold on. It's going to go dark for a second, but just stay. Okay. I think that should fix it. Let me see. Oh, please come back to me. Okay, I think we're fixed. I think we got it. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. As we're back with the action, another raffle winner to announce. At this end of the first inning, we announced the winner of a gift card to Ziggy's Pizza. Ziggy's is a family-run business at 583 Washington Street in Brighton that prides itself on fresh in-house ingredients for your whole family. The winner of the Ziggy's Pizza gift card is Kevin Fitzgerald. So congratulations, Kevin. Take you up on that. I was juggling scoreless so far. Yeah, no score so far. Yeah, I was just juggling with Wi-Fi kind of. Oh, yeah, no, I appreciate it.
It's a problem when you don't get the connection. Good win at Mayfield.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was great. That was great.
Only Walton was.
Yes.
I talked to Brendan 2 or 3 times. I talked to him this morning. He's hoping to get this one and then get tomorrow's in too.
Ah, nice.
Next week's winnable too. He's got some easy games coming up. Not easy. Won't say that, but winnable.
Yeah. All right, we are back in action here for the top of the second inning. Leading off to finish the plate appearance he couldn't finish last inning, the first baseman, number 5, Adam Hess, as he takes low ball one from Engelman. First inning ended with O'Donnell being thrown out on the base paths, and so Hess comes back to the plate. And he lifts this one out to right field, but Brendel is there for out number 1. Now, Brendel did suffer a bit of an injury the last time he played in right field. In that game at Waltham, ran into the fence chasing after a fly ball, caught the ball but came up with a bloody nose and had to leave that game. But since then, he's been looking okay. And now this is his first game back out in right field after playing first base a couple of times. Now batting for Needham is the designated hitter number 2, William Saratella. And that pitch catches the zone, strike 1. That one hits the zone, strike 2. 1-2, the count to Saratella. That one outside, ball 2. That one misses high and away, ball 3. Full count now to Saratella. In there, strike 3. Engelman was painting around the corners, but saved the best pitch for last that time and gets his first K of the day. Now batting for Needham, the second baseman, number 15, Evan Feldman. That one's going to miss, ball 1. Swing and a miss there, strike 1. That one's going to miss, ball 2. Swing and a miss there. Might have got a piece of it, or it might have just popped out of Melton's glove. Either way, strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Engelman puts him down in order, including back-to-back Ks. We are still scoreless going into the bottom of the second. And here in the middle of the second, another raffle winner to be announced. This is the winner of 2 tickets to the April 12th Boston Celtics versus Charlotte Hornets basketball game. Enjoy 2 great seats to the Celtics versus the Hornets this Friday, April 12th at TD Garden as they continue their quest for the title. The winner of the Celtics tickets is Cal Stein. Congratulations, Cal. Still no score so far, and folks, again, I want to apologize for the Wi-Fi issues we had back in the first inning. They should be fixed now, but please speak up in the live chat if they are not fixed at this stage. Due up in the bottom of the second for Brookline will be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Melton, Hoffman, and Bollinger. Leading off for Brookline, the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. Melton so far 2 for 7 with a team-leading 7 walks and 3 RBI. He got 3 of those 7 walks on Monday against Natick, and he also got all 3 of his RBI that day as well. Very productive day for the Brookline catcher at the plate. Had a bases-loaded walk and a 2-run single as part of that 7th inning rally by the Warriors. They're saying he checked his swing on that one, ball 2. Melton fouls this one out of play. And that'll be strike 2. 2-2, the count to Melton. Hits a chopper over to short, and it bounces off the shortstop's wrist. And Melton is going to reach on the E6. Tough hop. This is the price you pay when you play on grass. You know, the surface isn't going to be perfectly even because nature's not going to be perfectly level like that. And so off of that, now a runner at first. Now batting the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Hoffman shows bunt, but slices it. We saw the same kind of clumsy attempts at a sac bunt on Monday against Natick in the 7th inning. The failed sac bunts ended up working in Hoffman's favor in the long run as he got a nice hit-and-run single that put runners at the corners to set up the game-tying run. And, of course, he ended up scoring the go-ahead run in that game later. We'll see what they do here as they show bunt again, pulls back and takes ball 1 in the dirt. Fun fact, Hoffman has scored 2 runs so far this season, both very big runs. Like I said, the go-ahead run on Monday, and then he scored the game-tying run on Saturday against Framingham, both driven in by Harrison Siegel. He lays down the bunt this time, picked up by the pitcher. Throw gets away! Hoffman is going to reach. Melton racing down to third. And Owen Hoffman, again, the man lines up to do a sac bunt, and he ends up moving the runner all the way to third, this time off the back of a throwing error. So 2 back-to-back errors by the Needham defense, and now up comes the shortstop, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch, and he hits it foul up the third base side. Bollinger 1 for 6 so far in his freshman season. 1 steal, 1 run, and 1 RBI. That 1 hit and that 1 RBI, of course, that legendary walk-off single in the Framingham game in his first high school game. Lifts this one into shallow right. They're tracking it. Got the catch, and too shallow to advance the runners. So that'll simply be out number 1. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. Mazzara made his varsity debut on Monday against Natick and was a crucial part of Brookline's win as that pitch comes in the dirt. And although the catcher, Carr, lost track of that ball, it bounced right in front of him. So none of the runners were going to try on that one. Mazzara went 1 for 5 with a steal and a run in Monday's game. Now up in a prime position, runners at second and third, 1 out. Takes strike 1 on that one. And fouls that one off. Strike 2. 1-2, the count to Mazzara. Melton at third, Hoffman at second. Brookline trying to be the first team on the board here in the bottom of the second inning. Hits him. Mazzara is hit by the pitch, and that loads the bases for the number 9 hitter, the third baseman, number 8, Ben Doktoroff. Doktoroff drove in the tying run on Monday against Natick. So far for the season, batting 2 for 14 with a team-leading 4 steals, 3 runs, and 1 RBI. Really interesting. Doktoroff, a strong on-base guy over the past couple seasons, but no walks so far this season, as that pitch in the dirt ricochets off everybody. But because it bounced off Doktoroff, it stayed right in front of the plate. And so, no chance for Melton to try and break for home. That pitch also low, ball 2. 2-1, the count to Doktoroff. Another one low, ball 3. Could Doktoroff's first walk of the year actually be a bases-loaded walk? Could Brookline get their 4th bases-loaded walk of the year to start the scoring in this one? Yes! Ball 4, and it is indeed the 4th bases-loaded walk of the season for the Warriors, as Doktoroff draws his first free pass of the year and drives in Melton. Now batting, bases still loaded with 1 out. The second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch catches the zone, strike 1. Sawada got a single his last time up, but was left stranded on the bases. Was left stranded at third. Reaches out, hits a hard grounder. A weird hop over the shortstop into center field. 1 run is in. Mazzara coming around, slides in. Is it reconnected properly now? Oh my goodness. Boy, I'm having a day today with the Wi-Fi, folks. I'm really sorry. To recap really quick, I don't know how much just skipped out on that one. Sawada hit a hard grounder up the middle. It took a weird high hop off the edge of the grass over the outstretched glove of Constantino at short. And that ended up driving in Hoffman and Mazzara. And so Brookline now leads Needham 3-0. So there's runners at first and second. Sawada at first, Doktoroff at second. And now batting is Harrison Siegel. He is now facing an 0-2 count after a couple foul balls. Now he hits a grounder over to third. Third baseman just going to apply the tag to Doktoroff. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Now coming up, the right fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. Brendel grounded into what turned into a double play due to a runner interference call against Siegel. His last time up, he fouls off the first pitch, strike 1. That one is going to be high for ball 1. Donnell O'Neill putting my mind a little at ease, saying we saw Jonathan come in to score. Don't worry. Thank you for putting my mind a little at ease there. As this one is lifted deep out to right fielder back, and he's got the catch for out number 3. Brookline on the board first. They take a 3-0 lead at the end of the second. Now, time to announce another winner of the BHS baseball raffle. Here at the end of the second, we give out the award of a bar taco dinner for 4. As a neighborhood drop-in place for lunch, a casual supper, or anything in between, bar taco is, and the description is cut off, so I'm assuming bar taco is a great place as a neighborhood drop-in place for lunch, a casual supper, or anything in between. And the winner of the bar taco dinner for 4 is Jeremy Haber. So congratulations, Jeremy. I'll tell you what, though, folks, I am definitely uploading a fully recorded version of this broadcast later tonight. I am so frustrated with how the Wi-Fi has been jerking us around. You know, and it's like there's not much that I can do other than try and switch to another Wi-Fi, which is what I did when things went sideways in the first inning. And then the latest mishap, you know, is something that, in my experience, Xfinity Wi-Fi does once a game, but then usually it's good the rest of the way. So I'm hoping that pattern holds today, and I'm hoping that was the only disaster that we're going to have so far. Either way, it is a 3-0 lead for the Warriors. Engelman back on the mound for Brookline for his 3rd inning of work. Leading off for Needham, the left fielder, number 11, Oliver Gannon. First pitch, Gannon hits a dribbler over to short and juggled by Bollinger. Tried to pick it up, couldn't get the throw there in time. And Gannon reaches. You know, debatable on the hit versus error call. I would say reach on error because that ball was juggled by Bollinger at short. But, you know, I'll check the official stat keepers later. In the meantime, now batting is the catcher, number 3, Griffin Carr. He lays down a sac bunt, scooped up by Engelman, thrown to first, and that is out number 1. So 1 down and a runner at second as we cycle around to the top of the order with the center fielder, number, please. Oh, it's been briefly disconnected. Oh, and it's still going haywire. Oh no. I'm just going to keep calling it and try and fix it when the inning ends. In the meantime, at the plate is the shortstop, number 18, Devin Constantino. As he takes strike 1, swings and misses strike 2. Swing and a miss, gets him on 3 pitches. Not enough time for me to fix the Wi-Fi, so we'll try and fix it now between innings. Apologies again, as things just went foobar again. Okay, 3rd Wi-Fi network we're trying in this game. let's see if we can let's see if we can make the magic happen here with cable Wi-Fi instead of Xfinity. Ay, ay, ay. So I'm sure you guys missed a lot of that. What happened was Engelman struck out Constantino on 3 pitches, and that ended the top of the third. Here in the middle of the third, we award another raffle award here. This time it's a week at Warriors Summer Baseball Camp. Join the Warriors at their 24th year of camp, where they are committed to teaching skills and sportsmanship in an environment that's safe and fun. The winner of a week at Warriors Summer Baseball Camp is Gary Chin. Congratulations, Gary Chin. Now, leading off for Brookline here is Felix Hom, and he hits a hard grounder over to second, fielded cleanly, thrown to first, and it'll be a 4-3 ground out for out number 1. So 1 down, and now up comes the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. First pitch misses just high, ball 1. Folks, let me just say how much I appreciate you guys sticking with me through all of the Wi-Fi snafus we've been encountering throughout this game, as that pitch misses for ball 2. You know, I know it's unpleasant for you guys, and trust me, it's not my preference either. But I appreciate you guys toughing it out with me. Melton, hard grounder through the gap into right, and that's going to be a 1-out single for Avery Melton, who reaches base safely for the 2nd straight time today. Last time he needed an E6 in order to reach. This time gets a clean single. Now batting the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Hoffman went for a sac bunt his last time up and came away getting all the way to second on a throwing error by the pitcher. This time not squaring up to bunt, he takes low ball 1. A low pitch like that, I wonder if maybe they were expecting Hoffman to go for the sac bunt again, and they were trying to pitch against that with a low pitch. That one's going to miss outside, ball 2. That one catches the inside corner, strike 1. Hoffman lifts one into right, right fielder chasing, he dropped it! Melton has to take off for second, he was getting ready to tag up, he slides in safe, as Hoffman reaches on an error for the 2nd straight plate appearance. Boy, Owen Hoffman has been about the luckiest hitter you'll ever see through these first 2 at-bats of his. Reaches on an error on an attempted sac bunt, then reaches on an error on a fly ball to right. Now with runners at first and second and 1 down, up comes the shortstop, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch, he lifts one out to shallow left. Shortstop could not catch it. Take it off the bounce, though. Thrown to third is away, and Melton reaches. I think we can call that one a single, although it almost turned into a fielder's choice at third, as Melton was caught between the bags trying to see if Constantino is going to come down with it at short. Instead, we've got bases loaded with 1 out for the designated hitter, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara, with a chance for the first RBI of his varsity career. Slices that one foul, strike one. Mazzara was hit by a pitch and later came in to score last inning in the second. Now up with the bases juiced and one out. Mazzara calls a brief time here with an 0-1 count. That one in the dirt, well blocked by Carr. And that's ball one. If nothing else, give Griffin Carr some credit. He's blocked a number of pitches that came dangerously close to becoming wild pitches with a runner at third. Swing and a miss. A little bit of hesitation on the decision to swing there, and Mazzara ended up behind the pitch. 1-2 now the count. That one gets away, but the runners hold. Ball two. Two and two the count, bases loaded, one down. Mazzara launches a laser out to center, skips past the center fielder. He's not just going to have his first varsity RBI, he's going to have his second varsity RBI, and he's going to have his third varsity RBI on a bases clearing double. How about Jonathan Mazzara? 3 runs in on a massive laser out to center. Skips past a diving center fielder and doubles Brookline's run total as he brings in Melton, Hoffman, and Bollinger. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change for Needham, but how about Jonathan Mazzara's introduction to the varsity game? His first varsity appearance on Monday. He gets a leadoff single, a steal, and comes in to score as the first run of a 4-run rally in the second inning against Natick. Then reaches on an E6 to lead off the 7th, setting Brookline up for their 5-run go-ahead rally in the last inning of the game. And now today, a bases clearing double between Bollinger and Mazzara. The new kids on the block are something special so far in this young season for Brookline. So we've got a new pitcher now for Natick. Let's take a look at who this is. This is number 19, Noah Sprinsky. He takes over for Justin Myra. Myra lasted 2 1/3 innings. Gave up 6 runs, not all of them earned. But if Needham does not come back and at least tie the score, Myra will be the pitcher on record for the loss. But of course, still a lot of baseball left. We are only in the 3rd inning. And with a runner at second and 1 out, and Brookline now leading Needham 6-0. Up comes the third baseman, number 8, Ben Doktoroff. First pitch outside, ball 1. That one's going to miss, low, ball 2. Doctoroff had a bases-loaded walk his last time up, drove in Brookline's first run of the game. Now again, facing a lot of pitches missing the zone here from Sprinsky. That one does hit the corner, strike 1. That is the first strike that Doctoroff has seen through the first 7 pitches that he has faced here today. 2-1 the count. Doctoroff lifts one out to right center. Outfielder's tracking, and it's caught out and right, and Mazzara took off. That was a mistake as he is picked off at second, and that will end the inning. But although Mazzara commits the base running mistake there, he was ultimately the hero of the inning with that bases clearing double that doubles up Brookline's run total. And so at the end of 3, the score, Brookline 6, Needham 0. Another raffle winner to announce here at the end of the 3rd inning. This one, the winner of the training assessment with Core Collective. Embark on an assessment with coach and trainer Tony Gentilcore. When he's not picking things up and putting them down himself, he trains people at his studio, Core, in Brookline. The winner of the training assessment with Core Collective is Jack Sherlock. Congratulations, Jack Sherlock. Engelman back on the mound for his 4th inning of work for Brookline. If he finishes this 4th inning and Brookline stays ahead the rest of the way, he will be credited with his first pitching win of the season. But still, like I said before, still a lot of baseball left. You know, we saw Brookline take an early 5-0 lead and almost ended up losing the game against Natick, and they, lost that entire 5-run lead in 1 inning with 2 outs in that inning. That's the thing. You never know when the scoring flurry is going to come. You have to play it through all the way to the final out. It'll be the heart of the order. Batters 3, 4, and 5 coming up for Needham. Leading off, the 3rd baseman, number 13, William O'Donnell. O'Donnell walked his last time up, but was picked off between 2nd and 3rd. First pitch catches the inside corner. That'll be strike 1. Swing and a miss there. Strike 2. And that one bounces in the dirt. Ball 1. Excuse me. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Engelman starts off the inning with another K. 1 down, and up comes the right fielder, number 22, Charlie Ledbury. That is Engelman's 4th strikeout of this game. First pitch to Ledbury hits the zone, strike 1. Reaches out, hits a grounder into the gap, picked up by Bollinger. Long throw, pulled him off the bag. Hom stretched out as far as he could, but his stretch did pull him off of the first base bag, and so Ledbury reaches on what I would score as an E6, but again, it's one of those plays where I'm going to go back and double check and see what the official game changer score was. Now batting the first baseman, number 5, Adam Hess. And he lifts this one, going to stay in the infield. And it is tracked by Sawada for out number 2. So 1 pitch, 1 out to get the second out of the inning. Now batting the designated hitter, number 2, William Saratella. First pitch, chases it low, strike 1. Well blocked by Melton there, as you can see Ledbury is taking a large lead off of first. Trying to get aggressive on the bases with his team trailing by 6. Delayed swing there, gets jammed inside for a foul, strike 2. Now Ledbury taking off. Pitch is low, and Melton doesn't try and throw. Was trying to frame for strike 3. But ump did not fall for the framing, and so it'll be a low ball 1. And another pickoff attempt, but nobody was covering second. Engelman did have Ledbury fooled, but also had his infielders fooled. So when you fool both your opponent and your teammates, it doesn't really work out. Kind of a double negative, as that one is outside for ball 2. Two and two, 2 outs here on the top of the 4th. Runner at second. Chopper foul up the third base side. Another pickoff attempt. This time they're ready, and they got him again. Throw down to third, and the tag is applied. A second pickoff move at second by Charlie Engelman. Charlie Engelman with the swift spin move to get the pickoff for the second time today. That ends the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The score, Brookline 6, Needham 0. And with another half inning concluded, we've got another raffle winner coming up. Here in the middle of the 4th inning, we announced the winner of a round of 4 with carts at Brookline Golf Course. Available to the public since 1933, Brookline Golf Course features an enjoyable yet challenging course for all levels of golfers and the closest driving range to downtown Boston. Play a round of golf, hit some balls on the range, or just come in for a meal or drinks at the lovely Hemlock Grill. The winner of the round of 4 with carts at Brookline Golf Course is Daniel Rodriguez. Congratulations, Daniel Rodriguez. And again, as it is the middle of the 4th inning, I once again direct your attention to the link in the description section of the video where you can donate money to the Brookline High baseball program. If you're feeling extra generous today, be sure to check out that link to the PayPal account in the description section down below. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the fourth. We're back to the top of the order with the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Sawada hits a hard grounder over to short, fielded cleanly by Constantino, thrown to first in time for out number 1. Wasn't going to get a weird hop past Constantino this time. And it's a 6-3 ground out to open the bottom of the fourth. The reliever Noah Sprinsky is back on the mound for another inning of work for Needham after taking over for Justin Myra last inning. Now at the plate for Brookline, the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel, as he hits a foul grounder up the third base line. Siegel, his last time up, grounded into a fielder's choice at third. Before that was hit by a pitch, so 0 for 1 so far today. That one catches the zone, strike 2. Fouls that one off, stays alive at 0-2. That one misses low, ball 1. Swing and a miss. Siegel goes down on strikes. 2 down in the inning. Now batting, the right fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. Brendel so far 0 for 2 today. Grounded into a double play and flew out to right as he takes strike 1 there. Big swing and a miss there, strike 2. Hits a hard liner past the second baseman into right. Elias Brendel with the 2-out single. Runner at first, 2 down now. Up comes the first baseman, number 13, Felix Hom. Hom 0 for 2 so far today with a strikeout and a ground out. First pitch outside, ball 1. That pitch in the dirt, but covered by Carr to prevent Brendel from taking off. Simply be ball 2. We've seen some very good blocking from the catchers today. Got to give credit for that. Nobody's advanced on a wild pitch as of yet. That one low, ball 3. 3-0, now the count to Hom. And that one does catch the outside corner for strike 1. Another one of those slow strike calls where I'm like, is it a walk? But it wasn't. Hom hits a hard one, but foul down the third base side. Strike two. Full count, 2 outs. Runner at first here in the bottom of the fourth inning with Brookline leading Needham 6-0. Hom golfs this one out to right center. Outfielders tracking it, and Ledbury's got it out and right for out number 3. We are 4 innings in here at Warren Field. Our score at the end of 4, the Brookline Warriors 6, the Needham Rockets 0. And at the end of the 4th, we've got another raffle winner. This is the winner of the soccer ball signed by Christine Lilly. Lilly was a member of the U.S. women's national soccer team for 23 years and is the most capped football player in the history of the sport, men's or women's, gaining her 354th and final cap against Mexico in a World Cup qualifier in November 2010. Lilly scored 130 international goals for the U.S. national team, making her the team's 3rd highest goal scorer behind Mia Hamm and Abby Wambach. And fun fact, also played for the Boston Breakers, the former Boston-based professional women's soccer team. The winner of the soccer ball signed by Christine Lilly is Thea Lee. Or it might be Taya Lee, but however it's pronounced, I'm sorry if I absolutely butchered that, but congratulations, Thea Lee, for winning the soccer ball signed by Christine Lilly. And like I said, a fun fact, Christine Lilly did play for the Boston-based pro team, the Boston Breakers. I actually had a chance to, when I was a little kid, to see her play, and actually got a giveaway souvenir towel signed by Christine Lilly and by the Boston Breakers goalie Tracy Ducar, who was a backup goalie on that magical '99 World Cup team. So plenty of fun history there. As we move into the top of the 5th inning, Engelman back on the hill with 4 innings to his name. He does qualify for a pitching win as the starter, but he's been doing well so far. No runs allowed as we move into the 5th. Leading off now, the second baseman, number 15, Evan Feldman. First pitch outside, ball 1. Ooh, foul tip that seems to have gone off a sensitive part for Melton. I couldn't quite tell where that hit him, if it got him in like the thigh or the hand or the groin, wherever it might have been. Coach Brendan O'Connor out to check on him. Looks like it's nothing too serious. Just one of those cases where a man needs just a minute to catch his breath, just sort of breathe out the initial shock of the pain, and get back to it. Yeah, I mean, you could see O'Connor just kind of took a knee there next to him. Wasn't particularly checking on him, but just sort of like, okay, let's just sit here a minute and let you shake it out a little bit before we get back to the action. This one's a hard grounder. Foul ball up the third baseline. Always so hard to tell from over here up the third base side whether it's fair or foul down that third base left field line. You kind of have to wait for the official call. But it was a foul ball. So, oops, my mistake. It's not Feldman at the plate. I forgot That last inning again ended with a pickoff, so it's actually the designated hitter, number 2, William Saratella, who's at the plate as he takes low ball 2. That one outside, ball 3. And that's low ball 4. Saratella battles his way to a walk. And now coming up is the second baseman, number 15, Evan Feldman. First pitch in the dirt, and Saratella going to take advantage. Head down to second on the wild pitch. That one was blocked by Melton, but took kind of a bad hop off his protective gear, leaving just enough space for Saratella to take off. That one tipped into the glove, strike 1. 1-1 the count to Feldman, with Saratella at second, nobody out here in the top of the 5th. This one sliced into shallow right. Diving catch made by Brendel. Throw back to second, not in time. Saratella retreats, but how about the catch by Elias Brendel? Let's see if I got a decent replay of that. Just lays out for it. Spectacular grab for the first out of the inning. And now Oliver Gannon lifts one. Caught by Hom for a quick out number 2. Two down, and now up comes the catcher, number 3, Griffin Carr. Oops. First pitch catches the zone, strike 1. Runner at second, 2 down here on the top of the 5th. Carr, his last time up, laid down a sac bunt. They're going for the pickoff again, but this time Saratella gets back safely. Engelman wanted to make it 3 pickoffs at second base, but Saratella was looking out for it. Gets him to chase low for strike 2. An 0-2 count. And that one skips away from Melton, and another wild pitch moves Saratella down to third. So runner at third now, 1-2 the count with 2 down here in the top of the 5th. That one outside, ball 2. We saw a 2-strike count get away from Engelman against Saratella, who now stands at third off a walk and 2 wild pitches. This one fouled off. Low defensive swing that time from Carr. Still 2-2. That one in the dirt, blocked by Melton, but that is ball 3. So it's a full count now to Carr. We saw one batter battle his way to a walk. Now with a full count, we'll see what happens with Carr here. Engelman takes a beat off the mound. In there, strike 3. The payoff pitch pays off for Engelman as they leave a runner stranded at third in the top of the 5th. We move to the bottom of the 5th. Score still Brookline 6, Needham 0. Here in the middle of the 5th inning, we got another raffle winner to announce. The winner of the personal training session at Fitness Principles. Fitness Principles was opened by Keith McGrath in 1992 and is dedicated to offering the highest quality of fitness training and excellence for anyone to achieve success in a supportive environment. The winner of the personal training session at Fitness Principles is Liz Ascoli. Congratulations again to Liz Ascoli for winning the personal training session at Fitness Principles. Sprensky back on the mound for Needham as the 5, 6, 7 hitters Melton, Hoffman, and Bollinger will be due up here in this inning. Just want to check something really quick, see if I can pull up the team's official game changer. I want to check, see if I can find the rolling on some things, and I can't. I don't have access. But depending on how some earlier plays were called, whether they were called hits or errors, you know, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying Engelman's been pitching very well today, and depending on how some plays might have been called, could be a very, very good game is all I will say at this point. We start at the bottom of the 5th with the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton, as he takes ball 1 there. That one in the dirt, ball 2. Melton, his last time up, got a single, later came in to score a run. Before that, reached on an E6 and later came in to score a run. So 1 for 2 with a run scored so far for Melton, as he takes one high and inside there for ball 3. That one down Broadway, strike 1. Check swing, grounder up the first baseline, foul. And that'll make it a full count to Melton. Melton lifts one out to center, caught. Gave it a good ride, but well within the range of Giancola out in center. One down, up comes the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound here with Sprensky. Looks like for now they are going to stick with Sprinsky. Here with one out in the fifth. First pitch to Hoffman in there, strike one. Hoffman 0 for 2 so far today, but 0 for 2 with 2 reach on errors and 2 runs scored. Check swing, that's in play. Picked up by Sprinsky, thrown to first for out number 2. So 2 down, and now up comes the shortstop, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. And hits a hard liner out to left. That's going to drop in for a 2-out single for Hugh Bollinger. So now 2 down, runner at first. Up comes the designated hitter, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. And that pitch is going to get away, and Bollinger is going to take second on the wild pitch. So a runner now in scoring position for the Warriors if they want to try and add to their 6-run lead. Mazzara hits a grounder over to short, fielded by Constantino, thrown to first in time, and that will be out number 3. All right, that ends the 5th inning. We move to the 6th, but first, at the end of this 5th inning, we got another raffle winner. The winner of a gift card to Coolidge Corner Clubhouse. The Coolidge Corner Clubhouse is Brookline's long-standing neighborhood sports bar and restaurant. Great food, great drinks, and great sports. And the winner of the gift card to Coolidge Corner Clubhouse is Patrick Gendron. Once again, congratulations to Patrick Gendron for winning the gift card to Coolidge Corner Clubhouse. We move to the top of the 6th. Engelman still on the mound for his 6th inning of work. He's been working very fast and efficiently through the first 5 innings, so no reason to go to the bullpen at this stage. He'll be facing the top of the lineup here, Giancola, Constantino, and O'Donnell. Not yet. Leading off, the center fielder, number 7, Alexander Giancola, as he takes strike 1. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. That one in the dirt, ball one. Giancola, his last time up, flew out to center in the third inning, and before that, grounded out to second back in the first. That one's going to miss high and away, ball two. Reaches out, hits a grounder foul up the third base line. That one just outside, ball three. So a full count. And he reaches out, lifts it over the second baseman and into right center. There's no question about that one. That is a base hit. And the coach coming out, I think he was thinking the same thing I was. But with that, any question regarding a no-hitter is over. You know, I wasn't sure. There were a couple of plays where I labeled as maybe a reach on error, maybe a hit. Wasn't entirely sure. But if they were both reach on errors, then Engelman would have had a no-hitter coming into this inning. But with that base hit by Giancola, there's no question. That definitely a base hit. Now batting the shortstop, number 18, Devin Constantino, as he takes a high ball one. Runner taking off for second. Throw down to second, not in time. Well backed up by Bollinger to prevent it from sailing into center field. Looks like they called that one another ball, so 2-0 is the count to Constantino, with Giancola now at second. That one's going to miss, ball three. That one does catch the corner, strike one. Fouled off, strike two. Full count to Constantino. This time, instead of an early two-strike count turning into a full count, this time an early three-ball count turning into a full count. In there, strike three. Constantino is starting to trot down to first. But that is another K for Charlie Engelman. Now up the third baseman, number 13, William O'Donnell. That one outside, ball one. Engelman whirled around to check on Giancola at second. Doesn't make a throw, though. This one lifted foul up the left field side. strike one. This is lined through the gap into left, and John Cola is going to round third and head for home. And that's going to be an RBI single for William O'Donnell. And Needham is officially on the board. Now batting the right fielder, number 22, Charlie Ledbury. First pitch, and he sends one foul up the left field line, strike one. Runner taking off for second, and Melton could not collect the throw off the dirt. That'll be ball one, and O'Donnell will steal second. This one laced down the left field line. That is fair, bouncing past Hoffman. An easy run coming in for O'Donnell as Ledbury trots down to second with an RBI double. Six to 2 now the score, and this might be the end of the day for Charlie Engelman, as it seems like the Rockets hitter is starting to get a bit of a beat on him. 3 hits given up in the last 4 batters, and that will be the end of the day for Charlie Engelman, as he goes 5 1/3 innings pitched, allowing 2 earned runs. And it looks like they're going to go to number 10, Ben Cody. Oops. Cody's made 1 appearance before in relief. I believe that was in the Waltham game. And in that game, he pitched 2 1/3 innings and gave up, I believe, 1 earned run over the course. Yeah, that's what it was. He gave up 5 runs, but only 1 of them was earned. And ultimately, he gave up the final runs in a mercy rule loss to Waltham in the 6th, as things sort of got out of control for him in the 6th inning, giving up 4 runs in that inning to trigger the mercy rule. But as the ERA shows, a fair number of those allowed in part because of errors. So he's got a 3.00 ERA, a 3.00 WHIP, and 1 strikeout. Engelman still the pitcher on credit for the win if Brookline can hold on to this lead. Meanwhile, I don't think this is a save opportunity for Cody. At least it's not yet, because it's not a lead of 3 runs or less, and he's not coming in a situation where the tying run is on deck. And they're going to issue an intentional walk to Adam Hess to start this off. So I'll have to check the definition of save. I'm not sure if this technically qualifies it. But for now, at the plate, the designated hitter number 2, William Saratella. First pitch from Cody curves in, strike 1. So with the intentional walk, Brookline creates the force out at every base except home, as that one comes in high, ball 1. That one is low for ball 2. That one comes in high, ball 3. So we had one curve in the zone, but then it's been high, low, high. And now a 3-1 count to Saratella. And that one comes in high for ball 4. So an intentional walk followed by an unintentional walk to load the bases. Now coming up, I think we've got a pinch hitter actually coming up now for Needham, as this is number 12 stepping to the plate, not number 15, Evan Feldman, but number 12, Christopher Gerstel. And that first pitch is going to miss for ball 1. And that time he gets Gerstel for strike 1. You know, I always say there's a unique kind of pressure on a high school relief pitcher in terms of finding their form and throwing strikes. And we've seen that a little with Cody, as second baseman and co-captain Keenan Sawada calls for an infield meeting with Cody. Out of the timeout, it is a 1-1 count to Gerstel. And fouls that one off, strike 2. There is still a force at every base, so a ground ball could potentially end the inning with no score, but with the bases loaded, a run could very easily come in, not just with a hit, but with a free pass as well. As that one comes in high, ball 2. Chases it low, strike 3, and with the bases loaded, he can't try and run out the dropped third strike, so that will simply be out number 2. Big second out get for Ben Cody. And now coming up should be Oliver Gannon, or wait, Gerstel's still up. What happened? Was that not? Oh, I guess that wasn't strike 3. Maybe he got a piece of it? I think the count is 2-2. I'm confused. Slice that one foul. You know what? I think they must be saying that Gerstle got a piece of that one that I thought was strike 3, and that's why it's still a 2-2 count. So my fault. I was a little hasty on that. That one comes in way high, ball 3. So a full count to Gerstle. Again, a walk here does bring in a run with the bases loaded. And he lifts one into shallow left. Bollinger going back and has it. And it is, in fact, a big second out get for Ben Cody. It took a little longer than I initially thought, but it is now 2 down. And now up is the left fielder, number 11, Oliver Gannon. First pitch gonna miss, ball 1. That one catches the zone, strike 1. Gannon, his last time up, popped out to first last inning. Takes high, ball 2. 2-1, bases loaded, 2 down. The tying run is at the plate in this scenario. And that one is high for ball 3. That's the thing about Cody's pitches. A lot of them arc very high, and if he doesn't get that curve to drop them into the zone, they're just going to come in well above the strike zone. 3-1, the count to Gannon. In there, strike 2. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, tying run at the plate here in the top of the 6th inning between Brookline and Needham. Big payoff pitch coming. Fouls it off. You can see all the runners moving, and that's because regardless of whether it's a ball or a strike or a ball in play, they have to move. Hits a grounder over to third, fielded by Doctoroff, throw to first in time, and they got him. Big out get for Ben Cody as he comes in and prevents any runs from coming in despite a shaky start to his relief outing. He gets the job done and gets Brookline out of the inning. We move to the bottom of the 6th with Brookline leading Needham 6-2. And now we've got a large group of raffle winners on the docket here. As here in the middle of the 6th inning, we have 4, count them, 4 autographed Jim Rice baseballs to give away. Jim Rice played his entire 16-year MLB career for the Boston Red Sox and was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2009. He was an 8-time All-Star and was named the American League MVP in 1978 after becoming the first Major League player in 19 years to hit for 400 total bases. And, of course, his jersey number 14 is now up in the corner, in the right field corner of Fenway Park as a retired number with the Boston Red Sox. The winners, the 4 winners, each of you has just won 1 autographed Jim Rice baseball. Dana Engelman, Barbara Moran, Nancy O'Connor, and Stephanie Walker. Congratulations again to Dana Engelman, Barbara Moran, Nancy O'Connor, and Stephanie Walker. Each of you has just won an autographed Jim Rice baseball. So we'll have one more raffle winner to announce at the end of this inning, but first, we're going to start off the bottom of the 6th inning, leading off for Brookline, the third baseman, number 8, Ben Doktoroff. As he takes a low ball one. Doktoroff, of course, completing that 5-3 putout that ended a very dangerous top of the 6th inning that saw Needham get on the board and even potentially threaten to tie. That's a high ball, too. Doktoroff, his last time up, he flew out to right, which turned into a double play as Jonathan Mazzara got picked off at second. That ended the 3rd inning. Now he takes a high ball 3. Before that, of course, Doktoroff had the bases loaded walk, so he is 0 for 1 with a walk and an RBI so far today. That one catches the zone, strike 1. Noah Sprinsky has done a very effective job since taking over back in the 3rd inning. 2 2/3 innings pitched so far, and no runs allowed as he gets strike 2 there. And that one does catch the corner, strike 3. Again, one of those late signals that makes you go, wait, what was the call? But it was strike 3. Doktoroff down on strikes, now up the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Takes strike 1. Sawada so far today, he got a leadoff single back in the 1st. He got that weird high hop over the shortstop that might have been a 2-run single. I'm going to have to go back and double check. And then he grounded out to short. Now a hard grounder right back to Sprinsky. Well fielded for out number 2. Sawada's been hitting some hard grounders today, but that one well fielded by Sprinsky. And so 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Now up the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. First pitch, high ball 1. That one misses as well, ball 2. And that one's a high ball 3. And that it's a running joke at this point. Harrison Siegel hit for the 4th time this season. Why throw 3 balls if you're just going to hit them? I'm sorry, folks. I can't help but laugh a little bit, because it is such a weird thing that keeps happening to him. Runner at first, 2 down, and Elias Brendel at the plate as he ducks under ball 1. So 2 more hit by pitches added to the count for Harrison Siegel as he now stands at first base. That one inside, ball 2. Brendel 1 for 3 so far today with a single, a fly out, and a ground out. Siegel taking off for second. Brendel chases the swing in the dirt. And Siegel does get the steal. With how low that pitch came in, Siegel really didn't need to swing at that one, but I can understand the instinct to swing when your teammate is going for the steal, just to provide that tiny bit of legal interference with the catcher's reaction time. Runner now at second, 2-1, the count to Brendel. And that one in the zone, strike 2. Brendel gets plunked. Back-to-back hit by pitches for the Warriors. And I'm not sure if the Needham coach was trying to appeal and say that Brendel leaned into the pitch, but if that was the case, the appeal was unsuccessful. So now with the runner at first and second, and 2 out, up comes the first baseman, number 13, Felix Hom. And Siegel and Brendel were taking off on that one, but it's fouled off for strike 1. Hom so far today, 0 for 3. He's struck out, grounded out, and flown out. That one inside, ball 1. Boy, if Hom got hit too, my goodness. First and second, 2 down, 1-1, the count to Hom here in the bottom of the 6th. Brookline trying to add to their lead. That one outside, ball 2. It's a 4-run lead for the Warriors, but they saw how precarious that lead could get in the last half inning, so they want to add some extra insurance runs if they can. Hom hits a laser out to left. That's going to drop in for a hit. Skips past the left fielder, backed up by the center fielder, but they're not going to be fast enough to catch Siegel. He runs in, and Felix Hom with his second straight day with an RBI hit. Harrison Siegel so fast on the base paths. And Felix Hom now has 3 RBI in the past 2 games. And I believe he now leads the team. Also, fun fact, that's his first RBI this season that did not come on a Monday. As I kind of mentioned that little cosmic coincidence on Monday against Natick, that all 4 of his previous RBI had come on games that were on Mondays, but now his team-leading 5th RBI coming on a Wednesday. Runners at first and third. Now up the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. First pitch in the zone, strike one. Melton 1 for 3 so far today with 2 runs scored. Hom taking off for second. They throw down to second. Cutoff man makes it so they didn't really try and catch Hom, as they were trying to keep Brendel from going home, but Hom does take second. 1-1 count to Melton. And he fouls that one off, strike two. 1-2, I believe, is the count. Yes, 1-2, the count to Melton. Brendel at third, Hom at second. Melton hits a hard hopper through the left gap. 1 run is in. Hom takes off from third as the left fielder juggled it close. Play at the plate. Safe! Melton brings in 2 more runs. And now Brookline's got 9 on the board. So Brendel scores easily. Hom saw that the left fielder juggled the ball and took advantage to run home and beat the throw. So I'm not sure if they'll count that as 1 or 2 RBI for Melton. If it's 2, then he just tied Hom for the team lead with 5 RBI for the season. You know, I'll check that later on Game Changer. But in the meantime, we've got a new pitcher on the mound for Needham, taking over for Noah Sprinsky, who had a strong relief outing going until, you know, let a couple runs get by him here at the end of the 6th. But a strong relief effort nonetheless, as now number 20, George Moutry, takes over. So Melton is at second. And while it is a bit of a long shot, it is possible for the game to end in this inning. Brookline will have to put 3 more runs on the board for that to happen, but if Brookline does score 3 more runs, then that would trigger the mercy rule. A long shot, as that would require Melton, Hoffman, who's now at the plate, and Bollinger, who's on deck. All 3 of them would have to score, you know, without anyone getting out because there's 2 down. So still a bit of a ways away. But for now, the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman, steps in. First pitch from Moutry gets by Hoffman for strike 1. Hoffman fouls there in scoring position, is going to take off an advance. Okay, that was a brief cutout. Thank goodness. As Hoffman chased that one high and fouls it out of play. stays alive at 1-2. Anyway, as I was saying, I understand Mutri checking on the lead runner, but with 2 outs and your team trailing 7, you got to focus on the batter. Hoffman reaches low, gets a grounder over to short, fielded by Constantino, thrown to first, and that will be out number 3. We are through 6 here at Warren Field, heading to the final inning of this ball game. Our score going into the 7th, Brookline 9, Needham 2. And now we will announce the last raffle winner. The final raffle winner here at the end of the 6th will win the ultimate Red Sox game day experience. Enjoy 4 tickets to a home game of your... So congratulations to Michelle Tayon for winning the ultimate Red Sox game day experience. Thank you all so much. Again, everyone who helped make this BHS baseball raffle possible. And congratulations to all the winners. And we've got one last reliever coming in for Brookline. This is number 24, Sasho Esch, making his second appearance in as many games, as he also pitched 1 inning of relief against Natick on Monday. He came in with an inherited runner at second in that scenario and ended up allowing that inherited runner to score. Run was not counted to him, so his ERA is still at a clean 0. His whip is 2, and he had 1 strikeout. So Sasho Esch coming in to finish this one out in relief of Ben Cody. And he will be facing the 9-1-2 hitters, Carr, Giancola, and Constantino. I can't tell if they've got a pinch hitter at the plate. You know, I'll see if I can spot the jersey number if the guy ever turns around. But for now, I assume it's the catcher, number 3, Griffin Carr, although it looks like it might be a pinch hitter. First pitch, and it's rocketed out to center, caught by Siegel for out number 1. That was a pinch hitter, but that's a 1-pitch out. And now we cycle to the top of the order with the center fielder, number 7, Alexander Giancola. First pitch is low for ball 1. So that pinch hitter was number 4, Chris Matosane. That one just misses, ball 2. We're getting a few frames being dropped here in the final inning because why not just throw in a little bit more Wi-Fi shenanigans? This one popped up, staying in the infield, tracked! And it is caught by Doctoroff. Near disaster. as both Doctoroff and Bollinger were tracking it, but it will be out number 2. Last chance for the Rockets will be the shortstop, number 18, Devin Constantino. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. That pitch low for ball 2. 2-0 the count to, I think that's Constantino. For some reason, it looks like it's number 10 instead of 18. This might be another pinch hitter, I'm not sure. That one does catch the zone, strike 1. I think that might actually be number 10 for Needham, but again, I'll see if I can get a better view. That one hits the zone as well, strike 2. Sasho Esch trying to shut the door here at Warren Field. That one in the dirt, ball 3. Yeah, I'm almost certain that's number 10 at the plate, batting in place of Constantino. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, and there is your ball game. Brookline wins again. Their 3rd straight win as they improve to 4-1 on the year. The final score, the Brookline Warriors 9, the Needham Rockets 2. A strong, complete outing for Brookline, their largest margin of victory so far this season, as their offense and defense both brought it today. Before we recap the action, just a quick reminder, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. Brookline's going to be back in action tomorrow at Dover Sherborne. We'll have that one with live coverage as well. Be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribing to the channel can help. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. One last note in the live chat from Barbara Joe Metzger. Very simple, yeah, Warriors, wow. As this was a very wow performance by the Warriors today. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of the video where you can find a link where you can donate to the Brookline High Baseball Booster Club. You can also find a link and phone number where you can donate to the Brookline Food Pantry, our local charity spotlight. And you can also find some links related to me, which you can also see in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And you can follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams and post the stream links for upcoming live streams. But for now, a quick recap of today's action before we bring this live stream to a close. Top of the first inning, Needham got 2 runners on first and second, but then a pickoff move between second and third brought an end to that inning. Bottom of the first, Brookline got 2 runners on, but then a runner interference call created a double play, which put a halt to that momentum. No score from either side in the first. Top of the second, Needham went down in order, including 2 strikeouts by starting pitcher Charlie Engelman. In the bottom of the second, Brookline got their scoring going. Avery Melton reached on an E6. Owen Hoffman tried to lay down a sac bunt, but then instead got a 2-base error on a throwing error by the pitcher, put runners at second and third. 2 batters later, Jonathan Mazzara was hit by a pitch to load the bases with 1 out, and then Ben Doctoroff got the scoring started with a bases-loaded walk. Keenan Sawada came up after, hit a grounder up the middle that took a weird hop over the head of the shortstop to bring in 2 more runs as Melton, Hoffman, and Mazzara all scored to give Brookline a 3-0 lead going into the third. Top of the third, Needham got a runner to second, but no further. Bottom of the third, Brookline again got things going, and again it started with their number 5 hitter, Avery Melton, who got a 1-out single. Owen Hoffman reached on an E9 this time. Hugh Bollinger got a single, which almost turned into a fielder's choice at third, but the left fielder ended up throwing, I think, for home instead of third, and so everyone reached and loaded the bases. And then Jonathan Mazzara with the biggest hit of the day, a bases-clearing double to center field to double up Brookline's score, make it 6-0 going into the fourth. In the fourth, again, Needham got a runner to second, but once again, Engelman picked off the runner at second to end the inning. Bottom of the fourth, Brookline got a runner on first, but no further. Top of the fifth, Needham was able to get a runner all the way to third off a walk and 2 wild pitches, but could not get him home. Bottom of the fifth, Brookline got a runner to second off a single and a wild pitch, but couldn't get him home either. Top of the sixth, Needham's offense finally woke up. A leadoff single by Alexander Giancola and a steal of second. And then 2 batters later, he came in to score on an RBI single by William O'Donnell. O'Donnell then stole second himself and then came in to score on an RBI double by Charlie Ledbury. Made it 6-2 at the time, and that was the end of the day for Engelman, as he was relieved by Ben Cody, who came in a little bit shaky, gave up an intentional walk and then an unintentional walk to load the bases, but got a pop out and a ground out to get out of the jam. Bottom of the sixth, Brookline added a couple of insurance runs, back-to-back hit by pitches by Harrison Siegel and Elias Brendel. Put runners at first and second, and then Felix Hom got a single to left center that drove in Siegel, and then Avery Melton hit a single through the left gap, drove in Brendel, and then Hom came in to score as the left fielder juggled the ball. That would end the scoring for Brookline at 9-2, and then Sasho Esch came in and put the Needham hitters down in order to put a bow on it. Final score, Brookline 9, Needham 2 from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.